Oh, baits the dead angle, baits the burst. And that's tight. You kind of have to, you just have to respect all that. That looked dangerous. That was hella yabai. We're here. Nice. Oh, I'm so shiny. Oh no. Should have washed my face before I started. I've got some new gizmos on screen. I got this hitbox cat that sweats. Yeah. Pretty good. I got graphics. My mic is on. The audio is mostly balanced. VTuber avatar, that takes a lot of work. You can't just like poop those out. So, I'm probably gonna clip this together for YouTube, I think.
Krackatoa!
Yo, Daruga, thanks for the follow. You're just in time. So, this match got posted on, let's see, May 18th, so just recently, and it was not a first to 10, but a best of 10, I think. And I'll just like, we'll look at Roundstart, we'll look at key situations, we'll look at Oki, and what I want to try and do is find like the spread of options in a given situation. Kind of like explain potentially what each player might be going for and what might be on the table when someone is making a decision. Something I feel like intermediate players or new players tend to miss is that in any situation, there's like a spread of decisions. There's usually like your like most risk-averse option, or maybe it is like straight up 50-50 situation where you're just like playing into like one or the other option. But usually there's just like a spread of options versus your opponent's spread of options, like a mini game of rock, paper, scissors. In defensive situations, Faust wants to jump out, you know, because throw is always a threat, and his counter pokes with buttons aren't the best. Also, he can dive kick from an air state, so if he does get up and over, you know, that's good for him. But in that same situation, you know, if they're going after your jump, usually they're doing stuff that is less safe on block or less advantageous on block potentially. So you might be encouraged to stay put and just like wait it out, right? So people will be like, oh, missed his gap to escape. And it's like, well, yeah, but he was like trying to bait out like the jump counter play, right? I want to try and like elucidate on that, get that across. But we'll see. I'm going into this footage completely fresh. So I have no idea what I'm going to see, but we'll find out. Is it better to super jump when FD jumping out of pressure? Generally, I'm going to say yes, but not always. If someone is doing a command grab or a throw OS with a decent amount of recovery on it, a normal jump can get you a punish where a super jump would just get you up, right? Up to the top of the screen. If you're fighting a character who's really good, like ground to air situation, once you've burnt your air options. Because like once you super jump, right, you can't double jump. You know, your air dash is limited as Faust. You might want to like air dash force break pogo out if you're really struggling, or try and like create a situation off of that. But if you do super jump, you're forced into that situation regardless, pretty much regardless of what they go for, right? Because the gap's going to be small. They're going to recover out of their move pretty quickly. But off normal jump, sometimes you can get yourself a direct punish. So if someone's doing like dash up 4H, let's say Axel loves that. He likes to run in and do his heavy, right? His back heavy, because his throw throws you back into the corner when done like that. And so that attack has a decent amount of recovery. So if you jump backwards before it comes out, like you jump early to completely avoid the normal, you just fall on him with jump D and hit him in recovery, right? And if you had super jumped, you would never get to him in time. You would just like try to fall on him, he could anti-air you. So you'd probably try and air dash out after super jumping. So that's kind of like the situation that you run into when jumping out. And that's when you make the decision. So they both have their benefits. In some cases, you do not want to just normal jump out of a gap, right? Because if it's an air throw trap, super jump is more likely to get out in time, and normal jump is just you're not going to get enough height fast enough, and they're just going to scoop you, right? So in that case, you know, super jump is better. Stuff like that. So let's get this show on the road, shall we? So for those of you who don't know, RF is a longtime Faust player, really strong in a few games, but RF was a longtime Faust player, very, very, very strong, down in accent core, and I'm sure like a Slash player. I have no idea though. I don't know how far back RF's legacy goes. And Kesuke, I actually don't know a lot about the origin of Kesuke. But Kesuke is very good, right? Seems to have been like a very smart, intelligent player. Seems to have ridiculous execution and is just like a terror. So I'm excited to see these two clash in like a nice concrete experience. So let's do it. So we're gonna look at Roundstart. I just want to like scope out the first Roundstart or instance of Roundstart. We'll see what happens. 2P versus backdash. Okay. Now, 2P is generally pretty good to establish that your opponent has to use their fastest options to like stop you, right? In order to beat a 2P in most cases, characters have to kind of like press like their fastest button. Most characters have an option that will challenge 2P pretty easily, whether it's like pressing lights or on Roundstart or like 2S in some cases. Most characters have like a fast enough 2S to challenge the 2P, or at least trade in their favor. But 2P forces that, right? And if you do land 2P as Faust, you chain into 2H item toss. So 2P is like always a good button to be like a part of your Roundstart. I think in every matchup it's good. Maybe in a matchup where the 2P can be like counter hit for like half your life bar, maybe it's a bad idea. But getting an item on block as Faust and plus R is like really, really good. Like that can win you the whole round in some cases. So even though the reward on a 2P is technically not there, the item you get from a successful 2P is very good, and opponents can't jump over the 2P and punish most of the time. It recovers too quickly. You usually get a reaction 6P. But in this case, it looks like RF did 2P buffer 2H. The 2H doesn't come out because the 2P didn't connect. So it's a little option select. And Kesuke denied the item toss by backdashing. So that's kind of like the exchange that went on. Okay, here's another thing. Faust has innate options to dodge Beast to cover landing. Testament players love to do this, where they... Oh my god, the lag. Where they will hold Beast and try to get you to land into it, and then force you to block it, right? Because you've burnt your air options, you're falling, you can't change your momentum. But Faust is FDC, so you can always kind of like stall to dodge the Beast. And so you can kind of like keep yourself from falling into a terrible situation, right? Let's see, what does he go for after? So that right there, he expected RF to fall into the Beast, block the Beast, and so that would push him into the 6P. However, he didn't react to the FDC correctly, and so he whiffs the 6P here. So that's something to keep in mind as a Faust player, potentially, because this would be a reaction whiff punish if you were ready for it as Faust. So if KSK or other Testament players are really gunning for those like tight beast setups on landing, you could technically FDC, bait the entire setup, and whiff punish it. Because you're not at the spacing, you're not getting pulled in. Oh, look at that. 4S punish. Boom, whiff punish. Item toss. Nice. I called it. Called it. That's a good trade. Same deal. He tried to get up and over the beast here, but didn't get up in time. I'm not sure if FDing on the way up would have helped. Another thing to look at here is after 2H. So this is a situation that's going to come up a lot in these replays, is what the hell do you do in situations where Testament has done the last normal before he special cancels. So this situation is going to be like key to get down if you're a Faust player, and actually playing any character. In this situation, he can only cancel into special moves. So he can do Beast, he can do trap sets, he can do Badlands if he's gutsy. So, but the punish is very difficult, and in fact, I don't think you can stop a beast off normal blocking the 2H. I could be mistaken, but it requires an IB to challenge. But even then, IBing is always good here, because the earlier you get out, or the earlier you act after this button, the less likely Testament can put you into a bad situation. Here he goes into a cancel, and he cancels into trap, and the earlier you jump, the earlier you throw bag, the faster you break the trap, the less likely Testament is going to have time to punish you for throwing bag from up there. So bag is kind of inherently slow, but because you IB, those precious frames you gain stop Testament from like bullying you further as you try to deal with trap. It's very minute, but in some situations it'll matter. Okay. Bursting when you're cursed is good. Return to neutral. Right here, 2Ps. 2Ps are very good. Testament is actually like kind of struggles to challenge 2P. It's not that it's not that he doesn't have answers. But 2P is just very fast, it's very easy to like whiff punish stuff with it. It's easy to stop forward movement. So when you 2P, you can disarm the traps that are in play. You can disarm the curse, you can disarm the normal tree as well. That's a decent anti-air. Another key thing to keep a watch on are these jump H's. So jump H is really, really good at disabling traps, and Testament is very, very tall. So you're likely to dome him if he moves forward. So harassing him when you have free moments with the jump H is actually a very good idea. It's probably one of your like premier normals in this matchup. And this is KSK doing heinous shit. Very good. So right here is just like general bomb awareness. KSK has to jump or he's going to be minus because Faust isn't going to drop the bomb. And so you know you're plus even if you whiff a jump H in the air because of bomb explosion. So just go for their jump. Just rising jump H. Character can't really air dash away from bomb easily. Usually they have to do a normal jump forward. So just stick it out there. Just fill the screen. Oh, so right here tries to rising jump H on reaction to the air option, but doesn't get it in time. In fact, I think if he had done back jump H, it might have worked. The spacing on that was kind of not the greatest. I don't know if that was an accidental super jump or they just wanted to get really up there, but I think a normal jump might have worked in this situation. Just too slow. So here we see, excuse me, a play versus backdash, and something that will stuff a lot of faster long-range testament options. Far S is very active, so it's pretty good at catching Roundstart backdash. And if you do catch the backdash, you get an item. And the move is like it's pretty fast. I think it's like 9 frames or something. So it's very liable to actually like win, excluding like some of the faster options you'll see from characters, like a Soul Far S. I'm not sure what Testament has to beat Far S. That would be something to test. Maybe we'll see it here in other round starts. Nice. So, this is the power of 5K. It recovers so quick that even if you double jump to dodge the anti-air, Faust recovers so quickly that you have enough time to buffer a second anti-air. That's not actually common. Most characters who are forced to like 6P as their anti-air, for example, they actually, they can't buffer a second anti-air in time. You might see similar stuff from Soul. He'll do like anti-air 5K, it whiffs, then he does DP. But most characters will find themselves like unable to just like buffer that second anti-air. They just don't have enough time. So it's like one of Faust's big strengths. So this is sort of like anti-air set play, where you go to catch the tech with 5K, but he teched up. So you just follow it up with 6P on reaction. It was an air hit off the Beast here. So it looks like he tried to do something and got clipped jumping. Maybe it was air dash out. Okay, that's just... You just blocked that. That's just a 50-50. KSK, please. Oh, baits the dead angle, baits the burst. And that's tight. You kind of have to... You just have to respect all that. That looked dangerous. That was hella yabai. So that was a pretty cool first round. I saw some stuff. It definitely makes me more aware of like the post-text situation. I steal a lot of my setups from RF. Like I'll just like watch his streams and then just like, yeah, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I don't do that 5K tech trap, buffer 6P enough. So that's something I got to keep in mind.